Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, Dr. Richard Bartlett. So I just went through a rough week, which I talked a little bit on the last weekly thing, where I was very, very sick, and in fact, I had to get someone to help me teach on. My friend Chella had to teach on Saturday afternoon because I collapsed, which is fine. It was really nice to have someone that could take the reins, and they did a very good job. But I just wanted to talk to you about the ups and downs of things. You know, it's like I also, in the heat of that particularly kind of miserable week, I also had some breakthroughs when I was teaching the seminar later the next week that I'd never seen before. And so I was learning how to do things with just a voice command and how to get into, like, felt like DNA patterns. Came up with something to work with pain triggers, which is a way of working with someone's pain and clearing their references for that pain, and it was clearing out people's pain right then and there. And it took seconds, so that was really cool. And so it's balancing the really cool stuff with the less than cool stuff, the sometimes awful stuff. It's kind of the waveform of life. And so if you crave too much the one and then you fear the other, well, then you're caught in the loop. You're caught in the loop. And if the thing is ongoing like that, and that's always what's going on, then letting go of trying to control the outcome. And it's like when you're really sick, just enjoy being really sick. And if you're well, really enjoy that, you know. It's like I can't tell you how much I enjoyed walking across the room without coughing after 4 days of doing so. So finding the little things, like if you've got a pet, you know, like I've got a bulldog here, and he's starting to wet the bed. He's older, you know, and so the wet the bed thing's not so great, but there's the wet place of the bed means he's there, so there's something to celebrate. I remember Richard Bandler was talking about this woman who she was absolutely obsessed with her carpet. She had this white piled shag carpet, and she was so obsessed with it. If anybody walked on it, she'd get really upset. They'd leave dirt, you know, whatever. And she'd have to rake it. I mean, this carpet this thick, you had to rake it, you know, and she'd clean it, vacuum it, you know, and so she just really wanted her carpet to be clean. And Richard Bandler pointed out to her, he says, well, see your carpet and see how beautiful it is and see how it's clean and there's not a single footprint or dirt anywhere. And she was smiling, and and then he said, and realize that there's no one there. There's no one around you. You're alone. It's called the Cinderella pattern. Something where you project in the future what it's like, and you go, well, maybe I want to change that. I don't really necessarily want that. So you can change patterns in the future by changing what you're doing now, but it doesn't really change in a linear fashion. It's like throwing a pebble into a pond. You can throw the pebble into the pond, but you can't predict how those interference patterns are going to line up. But the more you can let go of the gravity of the situation, the greater levity or levitation you can bring to a situation, the more powerful and just rewarding as a cornucopia of possibility it can be. And you cannot predict ever what your life's going to be like or what's going to happen next. So my best advice is take no thought of it. Jesus said this, take no thought of the evil thereof. Take no thought of tomorrow, for the evil thereof today is sufficient. Something along those lines. Basically, the idea is don't worry about tomorrow when you've got today right in front of you. I'll see you next week.